Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the S15 build breakdown powered by Sparesbox. In this episode, we're going to be talking all about the engine, the parts that I've used, and the reasons why we've gone with this platform and what makes the 2JZ so strong. So let's jump straight into the block. As you can see, the S15 doesn't run the factory SR20, and in Matty's words, it runs the best motor you can get, the 2JZ. There's no denying the JZ engine is a strong and reliable package for any car. With minimal mods, they can make good power because they're over-engineered and they're an all-round strong engine. If you want to draw a direct comparison to the original motor that's in the S15, which is the SR20, they don't have rockers in the head, which is one great thing because they always break. And if you want to compare it also to an RB26 or a 25, these engines have a better oiling system, and in particular, my engine here is still running a factory sump. And for all the V8 lovers out there, look, let me tell you something. Yes, they do make easy power and they are reliable, but they sound crap. There's no better sound than a 2JZ at 8,000 RPM with a big turbo, anti-lag, tuned by Red Sun Motorsport. So going into this motor alone, this motor was originally going to be a factory engine with some headwork, which in past applications I've easily been able to produce around 600-700 horsepower, no problems. Unfortunately, when we did pull this engine apart, we found out the rings were stuck to the bore and it needed a rebuild. So we spoke to Matty from Red Sun Motorsport, got us shopping this together and started to plan out what would make this 2JZ a strong and reliable package for me. Starting at the top of the motor, we've got the Brian Crower 272 camshaft, along with its matching Brian Crower valve spring. Already from factory, these 2JZ heads flow really well, so they require minimal mods to make them perform amazing. Moving in between the cylinder head and the block, we've got the factory OEM 2JZ head gasket. Fortunately, these head gaskets are triple layer metal from factory, so we've been able to use that as an OEM part. Unfortunately, we cannot use a factory head bolt because we were running higher levels of boost pressure, so we've installed the ARP head studs to retain that pressure in the engine. Moving down to the bottom half of the motor, we've had the short block built by Red Sun Motorsport, and in that package we've decided to go for an 86.5mm CP forged piston running 9:1 compression. Retaining the factory crankshaft to the motor, we've got ACL bearings both in the big end and mains, and we're using factory caps to hold the crankshaft to the bottom of the block. The reason why we haven't gone billet on this motor is because we're running 800 horsepower, whereas if we were sitting at the 1000 horsepower mark, we would definitely need to upgrade them. Call me crazy, but commonly these 2JZ engines are still running the stock sump. In combination with a factory pump and a factory sump,
you're a poet and didn't know it.
These engines can easily produce over 1000 horsepower. Unlike you guys who do decide to buy RB25s and RB26s, you guys are nuts. Onto the front of the engine, we've actually removed the OEM power steering pump along with the factory OEM water pump. We've moved over to an electric Astra power steering pump as well as an electric water pump that is sitting in the back of the car. The final two components on the front of the motor is a high output amperage alternator along with a super ATI dampener. The reason why we changed the dampener is because commonly these dampeners are found to be old, dried out, and they break. Switching over to the cold side, we're running a short runner aftermarket Elwood Parts intake manifold. This is a 90mm throttle body which will soon be upgrading to a drive-by-wire system. As for the more exciting hot boy side, we're now running a 9180 in this car. Previously we were running 8374s which only produce around 700 horsepower. But with this platform, we've decided to bump it up just a little bit this time, and we're running around 850 horsepower with the 9180. It's also pushing that power in combination with a 50mm Turbo Smart wastegate along with a 6-boost manifold. As for injection purposes, the 2JZ is running United Ethanol E85. And to get that juice into the motor, we're running 6 2200cc injectors on the Elwood intakes manifold. With all these parts combined, Red Sun Motorsport managed to get 800 horsepower out of this little 2JZ on 27 pound. It's made it a very competitive package which has proven already in multiple events that I've put this car through. So guys, that's it for part 1 of the build breakdown series. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions surrounding anything you see in this video, feel free to drop a comment below and I will answer them as soon as possible. Until then, I will see you guys soon.